episode 472 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I'll be talking about tonight's WWE Friday Night Smackdown, celebrating 25 years of the Rated R superstar Edge, and tonight's AEW Rampage, right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hey, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to tonight's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic on this Friday night. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you all had a great Friday today. And as I said in that opening thing right there, we'll be talking about WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the 25th anniversary of Edge in the WWE, and also tonight's AEW Rampage. And after I recap those two shows, I will be talking about all the news going on in the world of professional wrestling, as I'm sure most of you know that there was some big news that came out today, and I will talk about that after I talk about SmackDown and Rampage. So let's get started into tonight's episode of the podcast on this Friday night. Let's start off WWE Friday Night Smackdown on Fox, the 25th anniversary special for WWE Hall of Famer, the Rated R superstar Edge, and SmackDown was live from Toronto, Canada at the Scotiabank Arena. Our commentators tonight, Kevin Patrick, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves. We start things off tonight with an opening video package focusing on Edge, of course. And during the night, we would get different video packages showcasing the career of Edge, also with comments of current WWE superstars and Hall of Famers. We got those throughout the night. And we start things off on SmackDown with the Grayson Waller effect. And he brings out Santos Escobar representing the LWO and the new United States champion Rey Mysterio. And Grayson Waller, I thought he did an okay job here, trying to make it sound to Escobar that Rey Mysterio stole his shot when he was actually supposed to get the shot for the United States Championship. But then Escobar said that it was only because Austin Theory attacked him, and he insisted that Rey took the shot. And he says they are familia. And then we are interrupted by the former United States champion. We hear A-Town Down, and Austin Theory makes his way to the ring. And then he wants Adam Pearce to come out and take the United States Championship from Rey Mysterio and give it back to him. He yells for Adam Pearce to come out, and then Adam Pearce comes out, and he is not going to give him the United States Champion. And then we get LA Knight make his way out in the arena, and then this leads to a match. LA Knight versus Austin Theory, and The Miz comes out and is on commentary for this match. Not a bad match. At one point, LA Knight and Austin Theory are ringside on the floor. Knight repeatedly slams Theory's head into the announce table, and while Miz is on commentary talking trash to LA Knight, telling him that Austin Theory is the future, and he keeps talking about how LA Knight has never had a championship in WWE. And then The Miz gets up from the announce table, causes a distraction for LA Knight, and then Theory is able to roll him up with a handful of tights, pin him, and get the win. So your winner, Austin Theory, with a little assist from the A-lister, The Miz. So overall, that was not a bad match at all. I'd say maybe a pretty good match. I give it 3 out of 5 ring bells for this one. Pretty fun opening match. Well, after the Grayson Waller effect, but it was the first in-ring match of the night on tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. And Theory became the number 1 contender for the United States Championship with that victory. And we have women's tag team action up next. Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair defeat Damage Control, Bayley, and the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky with the injured Dakota Kai in their corner. Not a bad match here. 2.5 out of 5 ring bells. Next up, men's tag team action. The Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, now coming to the ring wearing suits instead of their jumpsuits, now that they are associated with the almighty Bobby Lashley. And they defeat the OC, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson with Michin, Mia Yim in their corner. And not a bad match. I'd say maybe 2.5 out of 5 ring bells. Then, as they're making their way to the back, we see the almighty Bobby Lashley make his way out, and he celebrates with his new associates, the Street Profits. And then it is time for the main event of Friday Night Smackdown for this week. Edge taking on Sheamus, which I thought, even though it was an only 1 week build for this match, I thought it was done pretty well last week to set it up. And this was a great match, I thought. Better than I thought it was going to be. Not that I thought this was going to be a bad match at all, or anything like that. I was expecting a good match, but I thought Edge and Sheamus definitely over-delivered in this one and had a much better match than I thought they would. Yeah, definitely enjoyed it. A lot of back and forth here between Edge and Sheamus, especially towards the end. They get quite a few near falls. And then one time Edge goes for the spear, but then Sheamus hits the knee and then hits the bro kick, but Edge kicks out at 2, and then Edge hits a spear, Sheamus kicks out at 2, and then Sheamus hits another spear to get the 3 count for the victory. And very emotional moment here. Edge, of course, gets a huge hometown pop there in Toronto. His wife, Beth Phoenix, and their daughters are in the front row. And not much time left on Fox at this time. We see Sheamus get up, and they both hug as SmackDown goes off the air. Really good match here tonight. I thought in the main event, I'd have to give this 4.5 out of 5 ring bells. I was really big fan of this match. I was into it the whole time, except for the commercial break, of course, but other than that, definitely really into this match. And just a great main event on SmackDown this week. And then I just saw a little bit ago that after SmackDown went off the air, Edge got on the mic and says that he has wrestled his last match in Toronto. And I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but of course there is a video online of Edge cutting that emotional promo in his hometown. I'd say probably after I finish recording this podcast right now, I'll probably check the video out online, and I definitely recommend checking that out because I'm sure it's probably a very good promo by the Rated R superstar. But the question is this the retirement of Edge? I talked about that this morning on Good Morning Wrestling Fans. And the first time Edge retired, he was forced to due to injury. And then he came back. And I'm pretty sure he said at one point that he wanted to retire on his own, not because he had to, because of an injury. So there is a chance that this could have been the farewell of Edge in the WWE as a regular competitor, I should say. I wouldn't say even if he does retire, the last we have seen of Edge in WWE, because of course I would say even if he does retire, we could see an occasional appearance from him, just like we do every once in a while see WWE Hall of Famers make appearances either on a big show or a WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame ceremony, things like that. Let me know, though, in the comments what's your opinion on it. And let me know, do you think this was the retirement of Edge? In the comment section right here on Spreaker or YouTube or whichever podcast website or app you listen to 360 Wrestling Podcast on, let me know in the comment section. And that was tonight's Friday Night Smackdown on Fox Live from Toronto. And now we switch over to TNT for AEW Rampage. And tonight's episode of Rampage was taped on Wednesday night in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bridgestone Arena. Our commentators tonight, Tony Schiavone and Excalibur. We kick things off with a very exciting match. Here on Rampage tonight, Rey Fenix, one half of the Lucha Brothers, taking on Commander. And this one, wow, was a fantastic match. Great way to kick off Rampage tonight. I'd say, of course, Phoenix and Commander worked great, but also gotta give credit referee Aubrey Edwards. I thought she did a great job in this match, especially in the beginning. There was this sequence back to back near falls. I thought she did a great job of getting in there and counting, and there was actually quite a few near falls in the whole match altogether. I thought she did a great job in this one, counting fair for both guys. And just like the SmackDown main event, I really enjoyed this one. And it is Rey Fenix getting the win. Great match. I was definitely impressed. And with the end of SmackDown, the beginning of Rampage, saw two great matches back to back. And this one, I'll have to give 4 out of 5 ring bells. Definitely was a big fan of this match. And next up, tag team action, All Ego, Ethan Page, and Brothers Isaiah Cassidy taking on the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Aussie Open. This was a pretty good match, I thought. And Aussie Open gets the win, successfully defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Kyle Fletcher pinned Brothers A to get the win for his team. And I give this one 3.5 out of 5 ring bells. And then after, Aussie Open cuts a promo on MJF and Adam Cole in just 9 days away from their World Tag Team title match at All In London 0 Hour. And then we see a pre-recorded message from the Hardys, who are at the Hardy compound, and they challenge Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. And they kind of tease that instead of Aussie Open facing MJF and Adam Cole, it could be the Hardys taking on Better Than You at All In London 0 Hour. I don't really think we'll see that happening, but I definitely am looking forward to see Aussie Open and the Hardys going at it 2-on-2 in tag team action. And next up on Rampage, Sammy Guevara is in action, defeats John Cruz. And then we go to a video package focusing on tonight's main event. And we see Mark Henry. Well, it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. The Outcasts team of Tony Storm and Ruby Soho taking on Sky Blue and the AEW Women's Champion, Hikaru Shida. I enjoyed this match here. I thought Sky Blue and Shida worked pretty well as a tag team. I know I say this all the time, but definitely a big fan of Sky Blue. She has definitely impressed me, and also a big fan of Hikaru Shida as well. And Shida pinned Soho in this one, but got a little ahead of myself first. Sky Blue gets sprayed with the spray paint once again, but Shida is able to break up the pin and pull Sky Blue over to their corner and make the tag and get in. And then Shida, like I've already said, gets the pin on Ruby Soho to score the victory for her team. And then I guess she was able to get some of the spray paint out of her eyes because the Outcasts attack Shida after the match, and Sky Blue comes in, tries to make the save. And then after, we see Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, make her way to the ring to help out too. And that was tonight's AEW Rampage, which was also a very good show. Started off with a really hot match. Rey Fenix and Commander had a few other good matches, even though Sammy Guevara, that was more of an enhancement talent, or enhancement match, I should say. And not bad though. Nothing wrong with having just like an enhancement, maybe like squash match on a show. And then the Outcasts versus Hikaru Shida and Sky Blue, I thought was a pretty good main event. I'd say probably 3.5 out of 5 ring bells. And overall, the ratings for both shows, SmackDown, I'd say probably, it was a good show. I'd probably say maybe 8.5 out of 5 ring bells, or 8.5 out of 10 ring bells. Sorry, did I say 8.5 out of 5? I meant 8.5 out of 10 ring bells. And tonight's Rampage, which was also a very good show, I'd have to say 7.5 out of 10 total for Rampage. And tonight, I'd say we had a pretty good Friday night of pro wrestling. And let me know, as always, in the comment section. You can leave your feedback on tonight's SmackDown and AEW Rampage as well. And at this time on the podcast, before I wrap up, I'll talk some about some of the news going on in the world of pro wrestling. This morning, it came out that one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, Cash Wheeler, was arrested over aggravated assault with a firearm. Definitely some unfortunate news here. He was arrested, and as of right now, apparently though, he will still be able to compete at all in London in the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. FTR taking on the Young Bucks with his partner Dax Harwood, which I kinda am surprised, but as of right now, I guess they have not taken his passport away and haven't ordered him not to leave the country or anything like that. So, like I said, as of right now, it does look like he will be able to make the trip to London and compete at All In. But who knows, though. And also, let's see here. Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shota Umino, Goto, and Taguchi are featured in a movie about Antonio Inoki. And that's about it for the news tonight. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Episode 477, I believe. Or am I wrong about that? With my bad memory, I could be. And let's see here, let me check real quick. And actually, yes, I am off. This is episode 472. My mistake. I don't know why I was thinking episode 477. Skipping ahead a little bit for sure. But thank you for listening to episode 472. And remember, as always, if you have any questions or comments, and you can also leave your feedback for tonight's WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the Edge 25-year celebration. And remember, also leave in the comment section if you think Edge is retiring or has retired tonight on SmackDown. Also leave your feedback on tonight's episode of AEW Rampage. If you enjoyed that Phoenix versus Commander match as much as I did. And remember, if you have a product or a business or a company of any kind you want to advertise here on 360 Wrestling Podcast, you can. I'll try to do a good ad read for you. Try not to mess up too badly. Right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Good morning, wrestling fans, and the newest 360 podcast, Anything Goes, which drops every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, which 2 episodes are now available now. The first episode talking about the 3 seasons of Young Rock, and the newest one talking about Full House, the episode from season 2, Beach Boy Bingo. If you haven't heard that yet, check it out, please, if you want. And also all the social media, Facebook, 360 Wrestling Podcast, Instagram, 360 Wrestling Podcast, and the website formerly known as Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. And tomorrow morning, good morning wrestling fans, I'll be here with a preview of AEW Saturday Night Collision. And later on that night, I hope to be back after Collision to recap tomorrow night's show, and also this Sunday night. Not for sure just yet, so no promises, but might be kind of like a pay-per-view night. Might go live Sunday night sometime to talk about Impact Wrestling. and New Japan Pro Wrestling Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls. So stay tuned just in case. And I will talk to everyone tomorrow on the Saturday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. So keep it locked in right here. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.